Hello. Um, so I had something to say, and I guess I should have explained this the last time. I was meaning to, but I forgot. But I'm basically just using the title screen of Final Fantasy IV as kind of my message image. Just because I don't really have a webcam or anything, and it's a lot easier just to open my emulator and hit record, and it's something familiar to look at. Um. So that's what I'll be using until I figure out something a little more professional. But so I have a bone to pick with Nintendo. Um, and so the news has been going around for a while now, probably the last year or so, I'm not sure, that Nintendo has been claiming copyright claims on Let's Play and review and just any videos that use Nintendo footage from their games, new games, old games, any games at all. Um, there's a lot of people who aren't happy about this, and I know they've released some kind of BS partnership program or something. Um, but yeah, that's the main thing. Um, And so this has been talked about uh, before with um, by other people who probably understand this better than me. But basically, the YouTube's Content ID system means that copyright claims can be made automatically, and they frequently are. Which means even a channel as small as me can get nailed for copyright claims, and I have mostly by uh, people who don't actually own the works that are in my videos. Usually, I've gotten claims for remixes of Final Fantasy music, or remixes of other music that has appeared. Um, Not by the actual owners of the content until recently, um, because my I uploaded a test video um, to test out my new Elgato, and I used Super Mario World just because it's kind of the first game that came to mind. Um, and so it was, just a little test recording. It went for like 10 minutes or so. I just like beat the first couple levels. Um, and it turns out that it got content ID'd, which that makes sense because it is Nintendo's content. And the thing about it is that if you get hit with a copyright claim like this, you can dispute it, and the copyright holder has a month to respond. Um, if they don't respond, then it's just dropped. And if they basically if they do respond, they can approve or reject your dispute, and it's entirely up to them. If they do dispute it, or if they do reject it, you can resubmit the dispute, and then they can reject it again. Um, and if you, I believe how it works is if you press the issue after that, then they either have to let go of it or take you to court, basically. Um, so you can see how this is a little bit of a weird process because up until the point where they actually have to sue you, it's 100% up to the the claim maker's discretion whether or not it's a fraudulent or incorrect claim or whatever. Um, and during the time that the claim is made, um, if there's a content ID claim on one of your videos, if it's monetized, um, all of the monetization goes to them. Um, Even if you dispute it successfully, you don't get that money back. Um, while it's disputed, I believe no one makes any money off the video. Um, and when you don't get that money back when you get the video back. Um, and you're the I should note the copyright holder or the supposed copyright holder can choose to take the video down or to do nothing. Um, but they've been doing that less lately because you can make money off of other people's, effort. Um, and so basically you have this period of basically 2 months, um, where where any idiot on the internet can force you to not make any money off a video. Um, that's that's basically the thrust of it. And so a lot of people aren't really happy with how this system works because it threatens the livelihoods of people who have been making a living off YouTube and off of these videos. And what Nintendo's doing um, is definitely a problem. And I think that even though they own the content in the videos, I think it's wrong because it's not like people are just uploading music or uploading whole movies. They're actually making things. They're putting effort into this. I say I'm doing that too. So I'm a Let's Player too. Um, and of course, I'm not monetizing my videos. You shouldn't see any ads on it, I think. I think that's how that works. If you are seeing ads, I'm not getting any money from it. Um, but even though I'm not making any money off it, if Nintendo claims my videos, they can make money off of my videos. They can put ads in at their discretion. So I'm not really happy about that. They're not really gonna make any money off of it because I have like double-digit viewership. Um, but they could do that, and so I'm not really happy about that. So what I did was last month I disputed this claim. In order to respond to the dispute, an actual human being needs to put a put a stamp on it. They have to respond. I figured I'm a small channel, really small channel. They're not gonna care. No one's gonna even notice. So I made a claim. I claimed it was fair use, which I believe. I believe that to be true. It is. I don't think it is actually a perfectly legally established whether LPs are fair use or not. But I believe that over the long term, we will see that to to be proven the case. Um, but for now, all I can do is dispute and say I think that this counts as fair use. And whatever the reason, I figured Nintendo wouldn't take notice. And so I've been watching that dispute sit there for the month, and it was due to be dropped on the 4th of this month. And so I checked on it just yesterday, and I noticed that Nintendo had recently rejected my dispute. Um, so apparently they waited just about a month and then rejected it at the last possible moment. So apparently some human being, this is this isn't even excusable as part of their automated system anymore. Some human being was involved enough to wait pretty much the maximum length of time only to reject it at the end, which to me crosses the line into outright deliberate douchebaggery. And I could dispute it again if I wanted, and then in all likelihood it would sit for a month, and then um, they would reject it again, and then I would have the fun question of asking myself, is it worth it to risk getting sued by Nintendo? And I think that the pretty clear answer is no. It's not worth it. Um, that would maybe they would just let it go. Maybe um they wouldn't find it worth it. But at that point, I'm pretty much, you know, I'm putting myself in a risky situation, and it's really not worth that. Um, but that doesn't mean that I just want to have Nintendo just have their way, and that's why, if you're listening to this right now, you'll notice that that video is no longer up. Um, because I'm not going to let this stand, and I don't have to leave the video up if I don't want to. I can just get rid of it because, um, as much as they may, in some sense, own monetary control of the video, they can't really force me to leave it up. They can't take the video away from me. Um, and if the idea of Nintendo actually, you know, somehow subsuming the my video into their channel, and if they had one and using it for themselves sounds wrong because it's got my content in it, then that's exactly the point of why 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 this doesn't feel like it's something that Nintendo owns. Um, it was created using their content, um, and I'll admit it's not really a Let's Play, um, but if I had made a Let's Play episode, then obviously I would have put effort and time into that to create something. Because let's face it, if you're watching me play Super Mario World, you're not watching my video for Super Mario World, um, because you could find the you could find Super Mario World videos out there. There's probably hundreds, thousands of Let's Players who've played Super Mario World, and if you're watching my channel, obviously you care about my commentary. You like half dozen people or so. Um, So the Super Mario World is just a backdrop that I'm putting commentary over, and that's adding value, and it's adding content to it that Nintendo doesn't own. Um, but I'm not going to digress too much into the arguments in favor of it. Um, basically, the ultimate point of this video that I want to make is that I'm deleting that video, um, and I'm not going to do any Nintendo Let's Plays at all. Um, and it's not because I want to monetize my videos. It's not because this really affects me at all, because it really doesn't. But it's because of the principle of the thing. It's because letting Nintendo have their way here isn't right. Um, and I think that if if the Let's Player community stands together and decides that we're not going to put up with this, and that Nintendo um, isn't going to enjoy, first, A, any monetary benefits from this, and B, any of the free exposure that we have been giving them happily, then we're not going to let them have those things, because they haven't been willing to just leave well enough alone, get out of the way, and let Let's Players do what they do. I think that Nintendo is really shooting itself in the foot here. Um, they don't understand how the system works. They don't understand how it benefits them. Um, and they are just pissing away all of this goodwill. People love Nintendo. I love Nintendo. I love it a lot less now that Nintendo, the gaming company that I grew up with a Super Nintendo. I grew up with Mario, um, and Legend of Zelda, and all these amazing games. Um, and people love Nintendo a lot, and that's amazing because Um, with every big company, there's a lot of people who will hate them a lot. People, uh, everyone doesn't love Microsoft, everyone doesn't love Sony, but basically everyone loves Nintendo. Um, and that that kind of goodwill is valuable, and they're wasting it. Um, and this is the kind of thing that comes out of it is that you're just not gonna see any Nintendo videos coming out of this channel. Um, and that's that's just pretty much gonna be the thing going forward. Like, there might have even been some I'd like to have done, like maybe not the obvious ones, but Pikmin would actually be fun to do. If I ever got is Pikmin 3 on the Wii U? I don't know, but I'm not gonna be doing them because it's just, you know, apparently this company that I have, grown up with and have all these good memories of, has now decided to actually reach down and personally screw me over. They haven't done something that's just affected me negatively. They have actually gone to my channel, and a human being has, if not looked at my video, at least looked at the dispute, and they waited a month, the pretty much the maximum period, and then they rejected it. So I suppose, if you'd asked me in the 90s if I ever thought that I personally would get an individualized middle finger from Nintendo, I don't think I ever would have seen that coming. Um, so here's my middle finger in response. Um, Fortunately, this doesn't really affect anything on my schedule. Um, just because Nintendo's big and I wasn't planning on doing anything really big and obvious. Um, but it's definitely something I'm going to be keeping in mind. You're not going to be seeing any Nintendo content on this channel because I'm just not going to let them do that. So, um, from here on, hopefully we can move on to happier times, happier thoughts. We can play other games that are fun. Uh, so I hope to see you there.